welcome to another episode here on the Minecraft Let's Play. We are starting off inside of the nether today, on top of the nether roof, just a little bit further from the main hub than the magma cream farm. And I've started on a contraption here, or rather 3 contraptions, because we are going to need 3 farms for today's project. If you remember last time when I was talking about the smelter, I had a substitute block there. We had Froglights instead of the Froglights, and that's what we are going to focus on today's episode. I need to get those Froglights because I really need and want to have a lot of them. And I have 3 different farms because we have 3 different colors of Froglights, and I decided that I wanted to have one for each color rather than have all of the frogs inside of the same area, because then I wouldn't know if one frog eats it and they eat more than the others, then I would get one color of the the frogs, the Froglights, one color that's a lot and someone that's a lot less. So I want to have about equal amounts, I hope at least. So I need to go out and gather some frogs before we can continue on, because these frogs are going to go into these 3 different compartments, and I need those first before I continue on with placing down the blocks in the farms. Okay, so we're back in the mangrove swamp where I have a small group of frogs here. I just recently managed to get them to breed, so we now have some eggs in the small little water pool I made here, because they didn't want to breed even though they have a lot of water around here, so I think it was a little bit too far away. I don't know if that was the case, or they didn't know where to find water, or it did just take time, but I bred them up with some slime balls, which we have a lot of, and now it's just waiting and getting some tadpoles. And I'm going to try and breed some more of these guys so I get a lot of tadpoles, because we are going to need around 4 of each frog, so I'm going to need 4 of each in each of these, so we can get to the biomes and get them. And even though we have white frogs here in the mangrove swamp, I'm a little bit further out from the portal, so I don't want to drag the frogs the whole way. I'm going to breed some closer by to the portal, so I can get those frogs and then transport them into the farm. That's just going to be easy with having leads and then getting them to go through the nether portal and then having to lead them all the way to the farms. Hopefully that's going to be a lot easier. And we'll see, can we get these to breed again? Not right now, or maybe? One of them was ready, but not the other 2. Okay, so I just have to have a little bit patience, and we'll see if we can get some more tadpoles, and I'm going to have to get more stuff here and wait for these ones to grow up. We're back in the nether with frogs in tow. I have 4 of each kind. We have the orange ones, we have the white ones, which we've already seen, and we also have the green ones over here. It was a very, I would say, easy to actually transport these frogs around the nether, since we are up on the nether roof here where I have my pathways. The one thing that was the furthest actually to get to was these white ones, since I had to take them from the mangrove swamp. So I had to actually boat them one by one into the lanes here and then take them one by one until till this spot and fasten them here. But we also have all of the frogs, and we have all of them, and it's going to go into the farm right now. And after that we're going to take powdered snow, and I have a lot of it. We have a complete 2 shulker boxes full for each one of these farms, and I also have 1 more shulker box with a lot more, because I, as usual, counted a little bit wrong when I tried to count out how many I needed. So that's going to go on top, and not on top of the wool, of course, because then the frogs would freeze, because they are going to go down where our magma cubes are right now. But we're going to place the powdered snow a layer above there, just to get rid of these guys, to get them to small sizes so the frogs can actually want to eat them. After that we're going to make the spawning platforms and everything like that, so I think it's time for a time lapse. time lapse. finished, and the Froglight farms are going at a really good pace and working very, very fine, I should say. We have a lot of things happening, and I'm going to explain the farm as well, like I usually do. And yeah, going to start off by just trying to take a look at what happened. As you probably saw in the time lapse, the white frogs are just 3 now. One of them accidentally died when I was transporting them, but at the moment I think they are working okay, so I'm not going to bother by taking one more frog into here. Instead, I'm just going to leave it and see if it can keep up with all the other two other types, and see if it produces around the same amount of it. But what happens in these farms are, of course, that I've already explained a little bit. We have rails down below here that collects all the things that goes on top of the wool. And I have an automated collection thing here, so it stops the rail inside of here when it has something to go into, and then it produces some Froglights, and this looks so nice. I'm going to take, we need 4 of each right now, so I'm going to take those when we go to them. And how do the magma creams get in here? Because it's of course magma creams that we have, and we have a very similar design as this one. You can see the where I've taken inspiration, and we can see it in action as well. So we have an iron golem up here, which takes a little bit of or not damage, but he gives a little bit of damage to the big magma cubes, but that's okay, because as you need them to be the smallest ones for the frogs to actually be interested. So what the powdered snow does is that it lessens the big magma cubes and also the middle ones, since they are taller than 1 block high. After that, when they are just 1 block high, the frogs eat them, and we get Froglights that get picked up by the system. The glass here is only to prevent ghast spawns. That's why we have these sort of rows of glass, so we don't get ghast inside of here, because that's not idle. And of course, iron golems are stuck to the middle there. They sometimes also kill the big magma cubes, because they can get stuck on the fences here, but that's okay. Like I said, we need to decimate them and make them smaller, so it's the most important part, to make the magma cubes smaller and make them work. I'm going to, of course, need an AFK spot. We have one already above that farm. We're going to make one around the middle up there somewhere, so we don't spawn in a lot of other mobs in the nether below us. But now I'm going to take 4 from this, and as soon as we got the 3rd one here, we're going to get an achievement. So there, with our powers combined, and it's just having, I think it's just having 3 all Froglights in your inventory. Yes. So that's that, and we now need to make go over and actually put the Froglights to use, because like I said in the beginning of the episode, the reason for this is because I need to replace those shroom lights that we have inside the smelter, and now we can that with these Froglights. Of course, I'm going to use them in later builds as well, but this was the main purpose. I really wanted to have a farm, and also to make this work. So we're going to take this away, and I don't have a hoe, so we can take something else right now and just remove these. There we have those, and then we're going to have greens, and look at those, they are so nice. Then we're going to have the yellow ones and the pearlescent ones above. Of course, they're not the yellow, purple and green, they are called ochre, they're pearlescent and verdant. I'm not going to remember those names, so I'm going to just call them the green, yellow and purple ones. That's the thing. But this is really lovely, and I'm really looking forward to using these new blocks. And same thing here, so there and there. and then these on top and these on top there. So now we have the Froglights there, and this gives a much different type of thing. And are the Froglights directional, I wonder? Maybe they are. Yes, they are. I didn't think of that. Okay, so yeah, now they went into this spot instead. So we need to go underneath there. There we have everything, and I'm getting accosted by some slimes. Okay, so there, and then yeah, same thing over here, of course. There, that looks to be the same. Yeah, now they are looking like they shouldn't. I was thinking something was wrong. So with that, we are going to finish off this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm going to, of course, explore more 1.19 stuff in the future. We'll see what happens next episode. If you did like the episode, consider leaving a like and a comment on it. You can even subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. We'll see each other in the next episode. Goodbye.